Shabbat Shalom, and this is the Ancient Pathway. Welcome to the channel, brothers and sisters, and all people of Yah's earth. This channel shares biblical history, prophecy, world events, and more, all through the lens of Scripture. Remember, brothers and sisters, and all people of the earth, I'm not a teacher. I'm just an ordinary brother sharing what I believe I have been shown. In this video, we're going to step into the moment humanity traded covenant truth for forbidden power, and the shadow it still casts over the nations today. Before Pharaoh enslaved, before Rome conquered, one man rose from the ashes of the flood to build the first empire. He was the first king on the earth. His name was Nimrod, mighty hunter before Yahweh, but not for animals. He hunted souls. The fallen one's watchers from before the flood left behind tablets of forbidden knowledge. Nimrod found them. They taught him how to manipulate creation, take cuttings of roots, mix herbs, and alter stature. Use them to become more than a man, he became a giant. This was pharmakeia sorcery, the spiritual technology of rebellion, and the world followed him. And in their arrogance, they thought they could storm heaven itself. The Book of Jasher records that as they built the tower, they loosed arrows into the sky, and Yah, in his power, sent them back down drenched in blood. Seeing this, they boasted, "Surely we have slain those in heaven." But they had not touched the Most High. He turned the heavens red as a sign, and their rebellion was sealed for judgment. Such was their blindness that human life meant nothing to them. The Midrash says that if a man fell from the tower and died, no one cared. But if a brick slipped and shattered, they wept. They had climbed so high that it took a year to carry a brick to the top, and the work of their hands mattered more to them than the breath of their brother. This is the spirit of Babel, to prize the monument over the man, the tower over the truth. After the flood, Noah kept the garments Yahuwah made for Adam and Eve, garments of dominion. But Ham stole them, and Nimrod inherited them. These garments beasts submitted to him. Men feared him. He became a counterfeit Messiah, cloaked in Eden's authority, but driven by Babel's rebellion. And let's set the record straight. It was not the Israelites who built the pyramids of Giza. They built the city of Rameses many, many years later. And centuries later, in the brickyards of Egypt, that same spirit of cruelty lived on. When the Israelites were forced to build the store cities of Pithom and Rameses, the taskmasters showed no mercy. The sages record that if a parent's pace slowed, their own children were taken and sealed alive into the mud bricks. The cries of the innocent were muffled under walls raised to Pharaoh's glory, a counterfeit kingdom built on the blood of the covenant seed. Monuments from the age of the pharaohs who lived centuries before our father of faith was even born. By the time Moses walked the courts of Egypt, the pyramids had already stood for over 1,000 years. Silent witnesses to the rebellion that began at Babel, the Great Pyramid was already over 500 years old when Abraham was born, and more than 1,000 years old by the time Moses led the Exodus. This means the Israelites arrived in Egypt long after the pyramid-building era had ended. The monumental stonework of Giza belongs to the Old Kingdom period, not the New Kingdom period in which the Exodus occurred. Those stones were already in Abraham's day, the great temples, ziggurats, and stone sanctuaries scattered across the earth were the work of the nations after Babel's scattering, still worshipping Nimrod under many names. The same hands that carved hieroglyphs in Egypt etched the same serpent-crowned kings and sun, discs into stones in far-off lands. They carried the blueprint of rebellion from Shinar to every shore. For Nimrod, the same man the world remembers as Gilgamesh, lived far longer than most recall. Born before the flood, he carried the strength and lifespan of the ancients. His legends stretched across continents, his image chiseled into the memory of mankind. But heaven had not forgotten. On the night Abram was born, a star tore across the sky, devouring for others from the corners of heaven. Nimrod's conjurers trembled. They knew a child had been born who would rise, possess the earth, and overthrow kings. This was the star seed, the covenant seed, the one who would build altars where Nimrod built towers. Terah, captain of Nimrod's host and maker of idols, feared the prophecy. He swapped the child and hid Abram in a cave for 10 years. While Nimrod built cities, Abram built truth. While idols multiplied, covenant stirred. At age 10, Abram emerged. He saw the idols of wood and stone crafted by his own father, and he smashed them. 12 idols shattered. A prophetic act. 12 tribes would one day be cleansed. Nimrod summoned him. But Abram stood firm. He declared Yahuwah as the only Elohim. The tower trembled. Years later, Nimrod met his end, not by armies, but by a hunter. Esau, grandson of Abram, ambushed him in the field. He slew Nimrod and took the garments of Adam. But Esau did not value the birthright. He sold it for a bowl of stew. He killed the beast, but forfeited the blessing. Nimrod was the first king of this world. The Antichrist will be like him, rising through sorcery, global control, and counterfeit unity. But Yahuwah always sends a starseed, a remnant, a covenant breaker of idols, one who builds altars in the shadow of towers. The question is not whether Nimrod will rise again. The question is, will we be like Terah, crafting idols, or like Abram, smashing them? Brothers, sisters, and all people of the earth, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. As we close this Shabbat night, remember, Nimrod's towers fall, but the altars of Yah endure. The garments of Adam may have passed through the hands of kings and hunters, but the robe of righteousness is still given freely to those who cling to his covenant. Choose tonight which kingdom you will serve. Build altars of obedience in your temple. Smash the idols, whether of stone, screen, or self. For the beast will rise, but so will the remnant. May Yahuwah bless you, keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you. Until next time, Shabbat Shalom.